very fresh and a very wonderful morning to one and all present there. How are you all? I hope you all are fit, fine, and healthy. We are back with English subject, and today we are going to start with class 8. Myself Zainab Kagdi from Atmiya Green School, Jadeshwar, Bharuch, and we are going to continue the poem that is Unit 3, Conflict and Hope, Section 3, Refugee Blues. We'll have a quick revision of what we have learned till now. So, in the lesson, refugees blue. Refugee are the people is a person who goes to another country to escape being mistreated for their religion or politics or to escape war. And what is the meaning of blues? Blues means a sad song. Okay, which expresses the unhappiness of the slaves' lives. So, your Refugee Blues is a poem written by W.H. Auden, and he describes his emotions, that how he feels lonely and he finds no way to get out of that trouble. Okay, so this poem talks of the traumas of the German Jewish refugees during the Second World War. And we saw that even though this country is having 10 million souls, uh, but a few are people, some are living in mansions and some are living in holes. That means some are living in slum areas. But there is no place for us, for the refugees who are German Jewish. There is no place for us to live, neither mansions nor slums. They say that once we had a country where we were living and we thought that the country is fair. Uh, but when we look in the atlas, and you'll also find it there, but now they are not allowed to go there. They cannot go there now, my dear. And in the village churchyard there grows an old yew. Old yew means a coniferous tree which is having red berry. Okay, red berry like fruits. So every spring there are new yew, that means new fruits on the coniferous tree. But here the old passport can't help them to go to their own country. Then they goes to a consul. Consul means a government official representing their country in a foreign country. So here they are, he consults the consul, government official, then he goes to a committee, and then he goes to different people. There he talks, there he asks the permission to go to his own country, but he is not allowed. He has to stay here. Moving on to the seventh paragraph of the poem, that is, saw a poodle in a jacket fastened with a pin, saw a door opened and a cat let in. But they weren't German Jews, my dear. But they weren't German Jews. So here he says that I saw a poodle. Okay, poodle means you can see that is an animal. Okay, a poodle is in a jacket fastened with a pin. So now the animals are so nicely treated in the country. This is a country where the animals of that country is also treated very nicely. But with them there is a vast difference. They are, even the animals of that country are in a jacket fastened with a pin, and even the cat can let in the door. So if that all the doors of the houses, all the doors are open even for the animals, but not for these German Jewish refugees. They are saying that this is a country, this is a scenario where the animals are also given a proper place, but not we. But as they are not German Jewish, they are allowed to enter anywhere. They are behaved very nicely. They are given proper respect. But not with the German Jews. They weren't German Jews. That is why they were allowed to do all the things. But we were not treated properly. We are not treated properly. For us, everything is closed. We are not allowed to go anywhere, and even the soldiers are behind us. Moving on to second paragraph, that is eighth paragraph, eighth stanza of the poem, went down the harbour and stood upon the quay. saw the fish swimming as if they were free. Only 10 feet away, my dear. Only 10 feet away. So now he says that now he went down the harbor, okay, and stood upon the quay. So here you can see the picture of a quay where a platform where boats come in to load, okay, to load even either the people or the goods. So here went down the harbor and stood upon the quay where the load is being loaded on a platform where the load of the boats are being kept there. So when he saw there, he saw in the fish, he saw in the water where the fish were swimming very freely. They were enjoying their freedom. They were only 10 feet away from them. Okay, the difference between the fishes and him is just 10 feet. But still, the fishes can move freely. They are given the freedom, but not we. They were only 10 feet away, but there was a great distance in the freedom of them and us. Ninth paragraph. Walked through a wood, saw the birds in the trees. They had no politicians and sang at their ease. They weren't the human race, my dear. They weren't the human race. So here he says that now he's walking through a wood. Wood means tree, forest. So now he's walking through a forest and he saw the birds in the trees. He can see the birds in the trees. They have no politicians. So they sang at their ease. That means as they are not having any politicians, they are free to sing. They can easily sing, they can easily speak, they can easily do whatever they want to. Okay, the birds are very free in the forest as they have no politicians. Here we belong to human race, so we are obstructed, we are challenged to do anything as we have politics around us. We belong to human race. We cannot speak at ease. We cannot roam here and there. We are not allowed to do such things as the birds in the forest do. Next paragraph says, dreamed I saw a building with 1,000 floors, 1,000 windows, and 1,000 doors. Not one of them was ours, my dear. Not one of them was ours. So here he says that now in his dream, this is regarding the present scenario, that now he is dreaming and he sees in the dream that a big huge buildings, and that building is having 1,000 floors, and each floor, and that 1,000 floors is having 1,000 windows and 1,000 doors, but not a single room is given to them for living. Okay, he's dreaming of a building where there are lots of resources, but none of them is available to them. There are thousands of windows, thousands of floors, thousands of doors, but none of them is open for them. They cannot let in any single room. He dreams that we have resources, but that resources are not made available to us. Then stood on a great plain in the falling snow. 10,000 soldiers marched to and fro, looking for you and me, my dear, looking for you and me. So here he says that he faces a challenge, that he stood on a great plain in the falling snow. He shows the challenges he is facing right now. 10,000 soldiers march to and fro. Now he has to combat with these 10,000 soldiers, and they are at the back of these German Jewish people who are considered as refugees. They are looking for them, and there is no way out for them. So they are ready to make hold of them. But so here he just faces the emptiness, the loneliness, okay, by being a refugee, and he sings the sad song of whatever pain he's suffering from. Moving on to the poetic devices of this poem. All right. So these stanzas. When we talk about stanzas, there are total 12 stanzas, each having 3 lines in the poem. And when each stanza is having 3 lines, then it is called tested. Okay? When in a poem, when there are stanzas and each having 3 lines, when the stanzas are having 3 lines, and such kind of poems are called tested. Okay? Now when we talk about rhyme and rhythm, the rhyme scheme is AAB. Now dear students, what is AAB? AAB means first 2 lines are rhyming. Okay, and the third line is not rhyming with the first 2. That means I'll give you an example. When we say, yeah, once we had a country and we thought it fair. Okay, fair is the last word. Look in the atlas and you'll find it there. So fair and there, they both are pronounced in a similar way. That is, they are called rhyming words. We cannot go there now, my dear. We cannot go there now. So now in the third line doesn't rhyme with the first and second. That means fair, there, and now. In all the 3 lines, first and second line is in a rhyme, while the third line is not rhyming with the first 2. That is why it is called AAB. That means first 2 are AA, that means they are rhyming, and third B is not rhyming with the first 2. So the last words of the first 2 lines of each stanza rhyme with each other. Okay, the last word of the first 2 lines rhyme with each other. While we can see with this with an example. Here you can see it is like snow is the last word, fro is the last word, and me. So here snow and fro, the first and second line is a rhyming, while the third me doesn't rhyme as snow, fro, me. Okay, snow and fro is pronounced in a similar way. Okay, O. So that is called AAB. This when we talk about imagery, there is some imagery when the speaker speaks of the you in the churchyard blossoming. Here the figure of speech used is number 1, metaphor. Now metaphor is a word. This kind of word describes an object or an action in a way that makes a comparison. Okay, when an object or an action is being compared, then it is called metaphor, figure of speech. It is a metaphor for the orders of Hitler, which reads, kill all Jews, the thunder rumbling in the distance. The thunder rumbling in the distance. So here, when there is a comparison between an object or an action, then it is called metaphor. Second is hyperbole. Now hyperbole is the use of exaggeration as a rhetorical device. Now hyperbole means when there is something exaggerating. Okay, बड़ा चढ़ा के बोलना, that is called hyperbole. Say this city has 10 million souls. So it is like huge number, 10 million souls. 10,000 soldiers march to and fro. So thousands of buildings, thousands of floors, thousands of rooms, thousands of windows. When the number of things is exaggerating, is very, we cannot see a building with thousands of floors, correct? So when the things are exaggerating, then it is called the use of hyperbole. Repetition is effective in emphasizing the content of the individual stanzas. For example, when the words are repeated again and again, we cannot go there, we cannot go there. But we are still alive, but we are still alive. So when the words are being repeated, then it is called repetition, figure of speech. Now again we have allusion. Allusion is an expression designed to call something to mind without mentioning it explicitly, an indirect or passing reference. Okay, it is designed to call something to mind without mentioning it directly. We can use it indirectly. For example, there is no direct sentence stating the extent of damage done to the Jews, nor is there any verse saying the speaker is speaking to a female companion. Okay, so when there is no direct comparison, but there is an indirect or there is a passing reference, then it is called allusion. Then we have apostrophe. For example, when a speaker breaks off from addressing one party and instead addresses a third party, then it is called apostrophe. My dear. Okay, here we are having many examples. Looking for you and me. First party, second one party, and now he's saying my dear. Then it is then the narrator is talking to us, to the reader. Third party, then it is called apostrophe. So that's all for today. This was the complete poem of Section 3, Unit 3, Section 3, Refugee Blues. Now your homework is learn the poem with proper rhythm and intonation and complete reading 1 in your textbook. Also you can do the question answers and poem appreciation by your own. We'll discuss it in our next video. Till that, complete it. I'll be sending you PDF of this so you can write down in your notebooks. You can complete your notebooks. We'll discuss each topics one by one later. So kindly when the PDF is sent to you in the group, complete it as soon as possible. Write down the hard words in your notebook. First of all, write down the whole poem, okay, with a beautiful handwriting. First write down the poem and then write down the glossary words, that is new words. Then start with the poem appreciation on page number 85. Okay, you can take the MCQs in the textbook only, and then you need to write down the question answers. And yes, that's it. So I hope you understood the poem. Still, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in my WhatsApp number.